Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien with a special commentary for you. Sitting in for Paul Harvey today, doing a special commentary for you Americans, and Mr. Harvey upstairs, with your permission. I hope that you understand why I'm doing this, sitting in for you. And the commentary today is on the Biden administration handling of the energy crisis by declaring war on oil and the Green Deal. Okay, so this is directed at both President Biden and Press Secretary Jen Psaki. So here it goes. Dear President Biden and Press Secretary Jen Psaki, this is your favorite alien. And I have a concern as an alien from another planet on the tactic that you're doing to your own country and the disservice you're doing your own country. Your country has a lot of problems, yes. Is oil should be dead? Yes. The way you're doing it? No. If I were you, based on the present situation, I would open up the Keystone Pipeline, open up fracking and stuff, and sit down and determine what you're going to do in lieu of oil. You don't have a backup in lieu of oil. And look what's happened. Your gas prices have gone sky high. You're pushing electric cars, which are in their infancy, and you don't have any alternative energy sources to supplement coal, natural gas, oil, and all the other fossil fuels that you use. Fossil fuels are on their way out, yes. But you should have a sunset. You never declared a sunset. And your climate change, you never developed a plan for climate change either. Eliminating oil does not do anything for climate change. You got to change your atmosphere because it's costing you things like COVID-19 and other items that are coming down the line. And now you got yourself involved with Russia by the way you're handling the Ukraine mess. If you're handling oil the same way you're handling the Ukraine mess, then your country doesn't have a chance, and you are forever the last presidency of the United States. What I used to suggest, especially to Press Secretary Jen Psaki, is stop beating around the bush and tell them we don't have an answer to the press, because you don't. The answer is very specific. It takes time, and you should get yourself extricated from that Green Deal group and those kill fossil fuels at all cost group, as in AOC and people like that. They have no business being in government, especially AOC and all her cohorts. They should be disqualified and turned out from office. You need people that want to help the country, not destroy it. And here's what you should do. You should set up with the Democrats and Republicans and independents. They should have a voice on this table, too. The three parties that make up the United States. The independents that could care less about you Democrats and you Republicans. You extremist Republicans should be kicked aside, and you extremist Democrats should be kicked aside. Because there is issues that you got to deal both to the left and to the right, but you don't go extremist like you guys have gone to the left and you guys have gone to the right. Left under Trump, right under Biden, and for the last, 8 years? We have been a disaster. Well, if you take Obama, we have been a disaster under Obama since 2009. What I'm proposing is, you must, as the United States Senate and Congress and Senate, force the administration to open up the United States to oil drilling, gas exploration. Okay, because you need to stabilize your economy, you need to stabilize the oil prices, and you need to make Russia look even worse. And China. You need to make your economy what it used to be. And at the same time, with other NATO, European countries and countries that rely on oil and fossil fuels, get together and form a fund that funds building plants to eliminate the pollution in the air. That'll eliminate both pathogens and pollutants. Then you got to decide what you're going to do with them once you get them. Are they going to help you? If they are, then you can form industries to see what you can do with them. Just like you do recycle on the plastic bottles, you can do something with these pollutants, okay? But it takes money. But there is no money to be made there. That's the thinking that you have to get away from. Right now, you're suffering from your own shooting yourself into the foot, especially the Americans. That's what they're suffering from. You got to find what you're going to do with these pollutants. Some of them you can do stuff with that helps your economy. Others, you're going to have to eliminate. And that would mean you got people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos up there in the United States. You got rockets, and you can use them and dispose of them through the sun. The sun is a good incinerator for your problem. But the idea is to know what the sun can take and what the sun can't take. You got to understand your star. Do you understand your star? It's a disposable item too. It's a trash compactor that you can use. Okay? We learned that the hard way in my civilization. It took us centuries to learn this. Will you? Hell no. The way you guys think here, it's crazy. But you have to have a sunset. I would say give yourself 40 years for sunset of oil and natural gas. But you have to develop other things, like some sort of energy to provide energy for yourself, like solar, polaric energy, antimatter. We used polaric energy and then we used antimatter. But what I mean by polaric energy, I mean ion power. Okay, we developed ion power. Right now, ion power supersedes antimatter because it's a little better handled than antimatter. We still use antimatter. We still use antimatter for propulsion. But we use polaric energy for planetary energy. And the resources, we learned that we can't tap the 100% of the planet. And that's the problem. You're tapping the planet without knowing consequences of what you're doing. You must go to the solar system and find other resources that you can use to keep your economy going. You got plenty of resources in the solar system. It's rich in all kinds of stuff. But because of you guys have your way of thinking of nation states and Republicans and Democrats and don't see anything other than your nose, you're not going to get there. This is your favorite alien sitting in for Paul Harvey, saying to the Secretary, Press Secretary Jen Psaki and President Sleepy Joe, get yourself together. Tell you guys from the right and the Green Deal, to hell with you. We got to form a sunset for fossil fuels, but we got to make sure that we have something when that sunset comes around. And the companies that do oil and gas, and they have to be a part of it because they're going to have to be running whatever comes later than fossil fuels. As an example, President Biden, you notice that Pullman lasted a long time because it became part of the train system. It couldn't adopt himself after the airplanes took over in the 50s, where the train became obsolete, and therefore by 1970 you had to put Amtrak in as a government because rail systems couldn't survive anymore. But you didn't do a thing to understand why and how you can make them better. See, you got Amtrak. That's the problem with your country and your planet. You don't understand how to change from time to time, and you have to do that. This is your favorite alien sitting in for Paul Harvey. Good day.